Get the honor of introducing somebody who is going to talk to us about being inspired and inspiring someone else. Jaime is a principal and senior architect at DAHLIN. She embraces the architect's role as a problem solver with a focus on innovative, environmentally conscious design. She's a hands-on advocate for the profession's diversification. She volunteers with AEC mentorship programs for students and emerging professionals serving underrepresented communities with the AIA and local nonprofit organizations. An expert in residential design, Jaime is adept at leading teams in service of established home builders as well as coaching emerging developers for success. Let's hear your story, Jaime.
All right, thanks, Jerry. And how inspiring to follow that cellist too. I grew up playing the violin, so hearing the kind of the emotion and passion that can come out of string instruments is amazing, and blended with technology is such a great, fresh way to hear it as well. So I have 5 minutes for my talk today, so let's get into it. So nurturing and developing emerging leaders makes our organizations resilient and builds in our people a sense of belonging and fulfillment. So today I'm going to share with you 3 ways that I've been inspired and 3 ideas that I'm using to inspire others. And I'm going to grab the clicker here. So at one of my first PCBCs, at a 40 under 40 session, Rhonda Conger shared this idea of new brains have entered the building. And I reflect on this often, and I think about this every time I welcome someone new to my team. Sure, they don't know how we do things, and they don't maybe have all of the technical skills that they'll one day need, but by embracing the enthusiasm and curiosity that new people bring, it invigorates our team. And I'm often blown away by just how smart these new people are and that they bring skills that we don't have. In the book Multipliers, Liz Wiseman challenges leaders to nurture the talents of their teams and then get out of their way. Give them chances to succeed, to fail, and to learn from both kinds of experiences. If a manager is too quick with ideas or too supportive, they can actually become an accidental diminisher and block growth opportunities for their team. This can cause people to be dependent on the leader or miss chances to learn how to fend for themselves. She asks, what do people do without effort? And what do they do without being asked? She calls this their native genius. So create space for that within your teams, connect people with opportunities, and find a balance so that they can feel supported, but not too much. I always knew that I wanted to be an architect, and so really that was my singular career goal: pass all of those exams and get licensed. And I didn't really think any farther than that. But once I did it, I thought, okay, I've done that, now what am I going to do next? So it was really only then when I thought, well, sure, I could be a leader in a firm, why not? So if I didn't really see leadership as a possibility, then it was hard to kind of define that as a career goal. So last year, I learned this concept of career mapping, or also could be called finding your career North Arrow. And it can give yourself a sense of direction for an authentic and vibrant career. If you've ever drawn or referred to a site plan, you know that a North Arrow is very important to orient you to the drawing and understand how to read it and how to apply it in the real space. So you can do this with your career and create this career mapping exercise. You could do it really at any point in your career too. Earlier in your career, of course, you're looking forward, but you could do it later in your career and be looking for patterns that have emerged over time within your career. And the point is to focus on roles and responsibilities rather than titles. So identifying the areas that resonate with you and your skills will orient you in an authentic direction. Which brings me to help people realize what they're capable of. I spoke on a panel to students at UC Berkeley, and one of them asked, what do you wish you had known earlier in your career? And my answer was, I wish I had known what I was capable of. You'll sometimes encounter people whose confidence outpaces their abilities, but more often I find people who actually need some encouragement to demystify the parts of leadership that they might see as out of reach. My journey to firm principal required me to think beyond being an architect, to go from being a doer to an influencer, and I want other people to know that that's possible for them too. So by sharing stories, sometimes vulnerable ones, that relate to my team members' experiences, they can tap into their power as emerging leaders. I led a panel discussion at my firm earlier this year during Women in Construction Week. And team members shared deeply personal stories of their past challenges and struggles in the profession. It struck me that we had cultivated at our firm an environment where sharing these stories in front of the whole company was not only comfortable for people, but it was a valuable listening experience, or a valuable experience for those sharing and those listening. Some of these women had come from all over the world, and their paths to architecture had been challenging. But what came through was the value of embracing and celebrating their identity and letting them really be their authentic selves at work. When each of us feels a sense of safety, acceptance, and belonging, we can be more present, more productive, and more creative. In our annual reviews this year, I asked each team member, what is one thing in your role that brings you a sense of fulfillment? One said that their late father was a shop teacher, and as the only member in their family to go into the building industry, they knew that every day as they went into work that their father would be proud of them. One said that his 6-year-old brags to his kindergarten friends, "My dad's company built that new building in town." So I asked that question of all my team members to help them find inspiration, but in turn, they inspired me. Thank you.